Hey Bridie, welcome to the first full episode of The Complete Brides. I'm so excited that you're here, and if you've already seen the trailer, you know a little bit about what this channel is all about. My name is Dorothy, and just a year ago, I was exactly where you are, planning my wedding, feeling stressed out of my mind, overwhelmed, learning a whole bunch of things, feeling so clueless, and you know, planning a wedding in general is extremely stressful. And the reason I believe is because there's so many expectations. Like everyone is thinking, oh, this wedding is going to happen. It's my sister's brother's something, family members, the first wedding in our family. And then if you make the mistake of being the first daughter, or you're marrying a first or only son, you just know like everybody wants to have a say. So expectations are running high, and with expectations come a lot of emotions, right? And when there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of room for offense. So you find that everyone wants to be a part of it, and you can't blame them. Like most of them have seen you grow up, most of them want to just be involved, and all of this translates to what? Stress. And the interesting thing about planning a wedding is it's not something that you can delegate completely, especially as a bride. Like even if you get the best wedding planner on the planet, there's some decisions that only you can make, and regardless, they can make you stressed out. And when I was planning my wedding, I felt so overwhelmed, but in the process I realized that I wasn't the only one. There were so many brides who were going through this same amount of feelings, and I just came to understand that I wish there was someone who could have helped me through the process, you know. And for me, again, part of what was a problem was because I had never really planned any wedding as either a bridesmaid, like really, really fully into it, or like nobody in my family had gotten married recently. So it was just new for me. This is how the Complete Brides came to be. I figured that if I could give back in some way to make even just one bride feel a little less stressed and a little less overwhelmed, then I'll have done something. Okay, so what can you expect from this channel moving forward? Every week, we'll cover everything you need to know, from choosing your vendors to understanding different traditions and customs to tackling tricky planning decisions, even like things like ashwebi and how to pick the best DJ, what kind of things can happen at the reception, even color schemes. We'll be dealing with all these different things, and at the end of the day, as much as I'm giving to you, you can also let me know what you want to know, and I'll share that information. So this is going to be a two-way conversation, okay? At the end of the day, Complete Brides is just going to be a community of brides helping other brides to make sure that this process of wedding planning is not all stress, that it's also fun, because this is a time in your life that you will never forget. So, with all that said, once again, welcome to the Complete Brides. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, I believe it's down here somewhere, and share with your friends. We'll try our best to be consistent, and just this small vulnerable moment, this is also new for me, and as you're going through this process of wedding planning, I'm also going through this YouTube process. So I would really love if you can give me feedback and let me know what you want to know, and we'll go through this process together. So Bridie, happy planning. If you're just getting engaged, first off, I want to say huge congratulations. And it doesn't even matter, even if your engagement is a little old, congratulations still. Wedding planning is a process, and even if there's a little bit of anxiety in there, don't worry, that's why I'm here. Let's talk about the 8 crucial things that you need to do once you get engaged. So grab your partner and let's dive right into it. Number 1, set up your wedding budget. Now, I cannot emphasize this enough. Make sure you decide with your partner just how much you're willing to spend on your wedding. Weddings are expensive, and no matter how you flip it, hidden costs just keep coming out, right? So decide what your absolute hard line is and what range you're looking at. Don't use possible donations to plan your wedding. Like, that's rule number one. Whatever you do, don't say, okay, I'm going to get X, this family member is going to give me this, and this uncle that was in America for 5 years is going to give me. Sweetheart, don't do that. Okay? What you have is what you have. Any extra is going to just go into your marriage fund. But what you have is what you have. So number one, decide on your wedding budget. Decide on your guest list. The singular most important factor for the cost of your wedding is the number of people that you invite. And I don't think people realize this. See, if your family members want to invite the whole village, just know that whatever you're budgeting for your wedding, multiply it by you cannot plan a 600 person wedding on a 100-person wedding budget. It's just not going to happen. So if you know that you're on a tight budget, cut your wedding list down. The number of people you invite or that are on your guest list for your wedding also impacts everything. So let me explain. See, if you're inviting 100 people, the venue that you're going to get will be 400 people, and the amount of food you're going to get will be 400 people, right? Now, if you're inviting 600 people, you're going to get a venue that can cater to 600 people, food for 600. So you see how it affects every single thing. The amount of hostesses you will need are going to be more. The amount of tables you will rent going to be more. So it adds up pretty fast. So if you have a tight budget, first thing you need to cut down the number of people that are coming. Select your wedding period. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you have an event around your holiday, things tend to be a bit more expensive. If that means even food, even the venues, because just like we learned in economics, supply and demand. If there's a holiday, a lot of people are likely to be doing events or parties or, so everything is going to be expensive as well, right? So one of the tips you can do to also manage your budget is to either pick an off-peak period or even a weekday, which is a sneaky little way to have less people come to your wedding. So instead of like a Saturday, you can do like a Wednesday when people are at work, so that plenty of people will not come for your wedding. Yeah, so pick a good wedding period. Decide on your location. And when I say location, I mean everything from country to state to even portion of the state. And why is this important? Because it affects the cost. So if you, for example, you wanted a destination wedding, right? You need to understand, okay, this is what the cost implication is going to be. This is how much time I'm going to need to plan the wedding. If you're doing something out of town, you're going to need a little bit more time, or you're going to have to rely on a little more vendors just to make sure everything runs smoothly. Additionally, it can impact how many people that you're going to invite depending on location. And this is also important for like things like traditional weddings, or if your traditional wedding is going to be in the village or is going to be in a different state, or if everything is going to be, for example, in your father's compound, all that impacts your cost. Number 5, consider wedding planning services. See, I know you have a tight budget. I know you don't want to spend money, but a good wedding planner is worth their weight in gold. And even if it's not a traditional wedding planner or a professional wedding planner, so to speak, if you can find a friend who has strong project management skills just to handle majority of it, they can't handle everything, I promise you, but just having someone to take that burden off of you, it goes a really long way. And working with the wedding planner, usually ones that actually have strong ties to other vendors, can help you get some discounts, which accounts for the cost that they are charging as well. So if you're looking for a wedding planner that is, not too expensive, just do your search. Make sure you ask around and do your due diligence. Like, check out comment sections. Make sure you pick a good wedding planner because they can make or break your wedding day. This next tip, I think, is really, really important, and it is to explore premarital counseling. Now, you're engaged, you've seen the many Pinterest worthy weddings. However, aside from the wedding, there's the whole marriage to get ready for. And that's what premarital counseling will do for you. So find people, you can find someone online, you can find someone at a church, or regardless, really invest in taking time to have someone else put you and your partner through a counseling course. Tip number 7. Let us talk about your wedding vision. You need to clarify your wedding vision. And what do I mean when I say this? I mean, what kind of wedding do you want? Do you want something really elegant, black and white with a little bit of red? Or do you want something that's like on theme, like say the Great Gatsby theme or Frozen theme? Like, what is in your mind? What do you want your wedding to look like? Do you want lots of bridesmaids or not? Do you want something really small and intimate? All of these details affect the cost of your wedding and also the look and feel of your wedding, and it will also affect the choices you make about your vendors. For example, if you're having a really big wedding, you may need to get more than one photographer. So just have an overall idea of what you want, because it affects everything else. Number 8 is one that we should all love, is announcing your engagement to everyone. Now, I mean, you don't have to do this immediately it happens. You may be, team, keep it quiet till 2 days before the wedding. Or you can even be team, you don't know, I'm married till I give birth to my 3 children. Hey, whatever works for you. Just decide how you want to tell everyone about your engagement. And whatever you do, so far you and your partner are on the same page, nobody can tell you it's right or wrong, okay? It's your day, so celebrate exactly how you want it. All right? So, now that we've come to the end of the top 8 tips on planning your wedding, don't forget, it's okay to feel overwhelmed at different times, but take a deep breath. You've got this, and remember, just one step at a time. At the end of the day, your wedding is a celebration of your love. So never lose sight of that. All the little decisions and tips, always remember it's about the celebration of your love. Okay? And these memories should last forever. So tell me in the comments below, how did your engagement go? How did he propose to you? Was it something you saw coming? Was it a surprise? Did he just give you the ring and say, wait, and let's wrap this up? I'd like to know, so share your stories in the comments below. Till the next episode, happy planning.